The changes over the past couple hours, now it seems all of our reporters who are out there are seeing something, some worse than others.
And it's not over yet. We have a shift in the wind. I was in the weather office. So many graphics to update. We have higher surge numbers now because of the Cat 4. 12 to 16 feet expected water
in the Big
up
Bend
in the
area?
Big Bend, which includes Cedar Key. And the thing is, when you look at the geography, there's a lot of open spaces up there, which thankfully is good. Another aspect of this that's going to end up getting headlines is the storm is going to move so fast that it'll probably keep its intensity for a while. So when it starts going into southern Georgia, there is some population, Valdosta. There's going to be more population up there. It's probably going to have a lot of tree damage, a lot of trees knocked down, maybe even Lake City.
You're getting into Albany, too.
Yeah.
Pretty much, right?
So you start getting, you know, away from the coast of our Big Bend, which is so marshy, and then you get up towards I-10, and then you get over the border. There's some towns, some fairly decent towns that are probably going to lose a lot of their trees, and it's going to be a mess.
You're looking at significant power outages all the way probably up into the Carolinas.
All the way into probably Myrtle Beach and Savannah and Charleston. So,
and you're saying it is going to be a Category 4 when it...
It looks that way. We don't. I mean, I know for sure. I mean, the projecting is Cat 4, maybe higher, maybe even a Cat 5. Not impossible, but probably just a Cat 4, but still just in that range. Even if it stays a Cat 3, it's a big problem for them.
Right.
So we'll do some maps, and then we'll get at it. This is the Sky Tower view, and incredible, not only incredible radar presence. And when I say incredible and great and spectacular, I'm not saying that that it's good to see. I'm just saying that from a scientific visual standpoint, it's incredible to look at some of these storms visually. 78 degrees outside right now. The winds in Tampa, not bad. East-southeast at 14, but they will shift to the south and southwest later on tonight. On the Bayshore now, east-southeast at 31. We've had gusts up to 50 in spots along the coast, as expected. I mean, this is the third time now in the past year that Sky Tower has picked up a hurricane in its view. We had Ian, Nicole, and now we got Idalia passing west of us, and this is the core, which extends about here to about here. We've kept this offshore, and we said as long as we keep this offshore, it's not going to be a picnic, and it's been kind of rough. And I've had a lot of messages from people going, wow, the squall went by. Winds really, really picked up. And that's the kind of night we're looking at tonight with rounds of rain where you're going to hear the wind and the rain hit your window or your roof, and it's going to stop. And then another band's going to go by. So it's going to be kind of a noisy night, especially along all of our counties that have the Gulf. There's a break now. I mean, St. Pete, rain has gone by. Now it's up in Carrollwood, and this is going to rapidly move north through Pasco County, and then Brandon, and then Lakeland's got light rain. This stuff is really going fast. I'm talking rain motion 40 to 50 miles an hour on some of these rain bands because it's caught in the big circulation around the hurricane. We slide to the south. Areas that need the rain are getting the rain. Northport, Venice, Sarasota, Bayshore Gardens, Bradenton. But this is not going to last long. Pretty soon, this is going to be up here, up by Ruskin and Sun City Center. And then the bigger view. Inland, just steady light rain in Highlands County. Not forgetting about you, but not much going on. You're kind of on the edge of some light rain just to your west. Now in Homosassa and through Brooksville and Hernando Beach, that we're waiting for some weather. You've got some weather now, and the winds will eventually pick up. And then again, we'll look back at the storm, which has moved just about on our latitude now and soon to pass our latitude. Still has warm water ahead and just a lot of shallow, sloping continental shelves. You still get 150 miles to go before landfall up in the Big Bend. So it's really going to be little nuances in the environment that we probably don't quite understand on whether or not the intensification will continue to Cat 4 or higher, whether it will kind of level off, but certainly there's plenty of warm water and no sign of any shear. So for now, we're expecting continued intensification. 11 o'clock advisory, 27.7 or 28.3 in Tampa, 84.5 west, top winds 110, 115 is a Cat 3. Pressure now 958 millibars, and the track is in. So this is the area here, where you get east of Tallahassee, and then you kind of move through South Georgia. So there's a lot of towns here that are going to have some big-time tree damage. And also, you know, you get towards Lake City and Gainesville. You know, Gainesville could have some problems because they're going to be on the east side. So Gainesville may have wind speeds 70, 80 miles an hour, being close enough to the center. Be kind of rough. Even Jacksonville will have certainly some gusty winds. Probably not hurricane force, but it'll be rough, and probably Gainesville maybe not 80 miles an hour, but it's gonna be a pretty significant weather event for them as well. And then it weakens rapidly and kind of rides along the Grand Strand of South Carolina, and then moves out to sea for the weekend. Here's that satellite presentation that we talked about that's been incredible today. And you know, this last night, we were drawing yellow lines showing you the shear and why it was struggling to organize. And then as soon as it kind of get away from Cuba and get away from that northwesterly shear, the storm became vertically aligned and the heat engine got going. And now it's just kind of a matter of what it looks like or what strength it is at landfall. But this is all pushing water along with it as it makes the trip up to the Big Bend. Wind gusts now 35 in Tampa, 38 in St. Pete, and 48 in Sarasota. And I'm sure for anyone that's still along the beach, and I'm talking if you're out in Longboat or Anna Maria, even like Tierra Verde, open spots to the south and southwest. Again, these are locations where the airports are. This is that's some SRQ and TPA, but you know, they're inland a little bit. If you get an anemometer along the coast, there's no reason why it's not blowing 50 to 60 right now because it's so open to the south. And then these winds are going to start going south-southeast to southwest. So by that next high tide, some of that water is going to pile up. Here's the updated storm surge graphic. 4 to 6, Tampa Bay. Goes 6 to 9 north, a little ribbon of 7 to 11, and then you're talking a big area that thankfully there's not a lot of development and homes. There's a couple of towns, Horseshoe Beach, that's right, Horseshoe Beach, and there's not a lot of population up there, but there's some. And then you go 8 to 12 and 5 to 8. So that is the situation and Cedar Key is going to fall inside that 12 to 16. Storm surge of 4 to 6 feet now around Tampa Bay. 2 opportunities for that coming up really in about 4 hours. The tide now is definitely coming in slowly around Tampa Bay. High tide around 3 o'clock in the morning, and then another higher tide coming up late morning and early afternoon, and there's your rainfall potential. So I think we covered most of it. I think that, you know, the headline is really, when you sum it up here for our viewers, is we're talking about along our coastal counties, a rough night tonight, mainly tropical storm force winds, isolated tornadoes. The storm surge risk will continue, and then if you're watching me inland, certainly manageable tonight. You will not have hurricane force winds. You could have some gusty winds and squalls, but in our hurricane history, if this is what you get across our inland counties for this year, I think you say, okay, we did all right this year. So inland okay, a rough night certainly along our coast.